Okay, we're on. We're on. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode here from the Mindful Lotus. And today we have a guest. And could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Brandie K. I'm a psychic medium. I have an office in Redlands, and I'm pretty busy.
Do you mind if I move this a little bit
No,
closer
not
to
at
there?
all.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a practice in Redlands. You have an office.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I have my own office there.
Nice,
So.
nice. What street are you on?
I'm on Orange Street.
On Orange?
Yes.
Like by Orange and Livonia, Orange and.
No, it's
State
across
Street?
from the old mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right downtown, like.
Yeah, right downtown.
Where State Street is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that in mind. So tell me, so you're a psychic medium? Is that what you call
Yes.
yourself? Okay.
I usually just say medium.
Medium.
Most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, a medium, the description of a medium is that you mediate between people that are living and people that aren't.
Exactly.
That are not
We're
here,
just
right?
the connection
The
between
spirit,
the two. Yeah.
Between the spirit, right?
Just delivering information.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
yeah.
So let me ask you, like, how long have you been doing this? Like, when?
It's funny because I was just talking about this at breakfast with someone, and I guess it's 10 years now. 10 years. So.
Wow.
10 years.
Yeah.
When did you know? Did you have the gift?
Well, I do know it's hereditary and it runs in my family.
Okay.
So, my parents, grandma, we all have something.
Oh,
So,
okay.
You guys have a
Yeah.
gift.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't call it a gift. But yeah,
I'm
for
sure
the
there's
most part,
moments,
yes. Yeah. When everything works out well, it can
Yeah.
definitely be a gift, but
Yeah.
it has its challenges for sure. So,
Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
as you
So,
guys
like,
know.
so do you just feel things like when you walk into, like, let's say there's a
Mhm.
room full of people,
Yeah.
and then you just all of a sudden you start. Do spirits approach you? Or do they just make themselves present? How does that happen?
Kind of both. Like, I can walk in a room and just pick up, like, usually I'll see them, and then I can either engage them or choose not to. I do have to I have learned over time to turn it off so it's not like constant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting bombarded constantly. I know sometimes there's like shows and stuff on TV, different mediums where they're like, I do this 24/7, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's too much.
Do you get
So
visitors at night at your house?
I do,
Hmm.
but I kind of have a talk with everybody, and just, if I'm having dinner, relaxing,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is my time, unless it's an emergency, store is closed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's doesn't. I don't get a lot of breaks from it.
Wow, I can imagine.
But unless I have clear boundaries with them. So.
Yeah. So, do you have a family? Do you have kids?
Yes.
And
I have.
And do your kids know this about you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I have a 15-year-old son, 12-year-old daughter, and I'm also married. I have
Mm-hmm.
2 dogs and a horse. And
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a big horse person.
Okay.
I also sell real estate too, just to kind of break things up.
Yeah.
So yeah, my kids, my son, I don't know if he's like kind of shutting it out or tuning it out a little bit, but I know he has abilities. My daughter does for sure. But they don't like it at all.
Oh, they don't?
It scares them, and
Wow.
yeah, they just kind of block it out. So.
So what was your first
Yeah.
experience when you really understood what was going on with you and this gift or power that you have, like?
Well, that you remember.
Yeah,
My
that you
superpower.
remember. Yeah.
I think it was 2011. I was in a car accident, and I really think that triggered something because I had really been shutting it down most of my life. I didn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So after the car accident, I don't know if it was because I had more time on my hands or I don't think it was that, but I was hit pretty hard in the back of my head. So I think it pineal gland back there. So I think I had a pretty bad concussion. So after that, it got really weird very quickly. Yeah.
Were you scared when you started?
Yeah, I thought something was wrong with me, and I'm like, what? Did I really see that? I knew it was not someone alive, but it was crazy. Like, it just, it was, I use the example, the movies, the Twilight movies, like, when they first become a vampire.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a crazy experience.
Yeah.
It was, I was at a bunco party, I remember this. And these ladies, I had never met them before. They were my new neighbors. And so I was over there, and, we were just hanging out. And there was this lady sitting across from me. And behind her, I saw her mom and sister. And, of course, I didn't know what was going on, right? And so I didn't say anything because I was terrified and didn't want to scare anybody or embarrass myself, or I think my daughter was there too. So through the course of the evening, she said her mom and sister had just died in the last 2 weeks.
Oh.
Like a week within each other, or close to each other.
Yeah.
So I that freaked me out, because then I had confirmation who I saw was what I heard. And so, that really freaked me out. So I said, something's going on. And then I started going to groups and classes, just trying to figure it out. So I went to some very interesting meetups.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So how?
What kind of groups were they?
A lot. They were like channeling groups.
Oh, okay.
And I was my life up until this point was very normal.
Yeah.
So I actually had a corporate job for years and doing that thing, the whole business thing. And so I was going to these channeling groups, and there'd be like a guy there channeling some alien race, and I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong place. I just need help with these dead folks following me around. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand. It was like a whole new world to me. So no one could help me at the very first group I went to, and I kept ending up in these channeling groups. And I thought, why do I keep making the mistake of picking these groups or these classes? I mean, now that I look back on it, it wasn't a mistake, because I do so much channeling now. It's like the main thing I do. It was, they had a plan. They were like, we're going to put you in these spots. So
channeling, what is channeling about? Like, if I'm viewing this as a first time viewer and I don't know what this is, like, obviously some people are afraid because they don't know. Like, I don't want to meet with a medium because some people think, oh, that's not of God or whatever, right?
Definitely.
But I do know that communication is still there. I know that there still are spirits. I mean, we've all encountered that at some point in our lives, and some of us, like you, still do on a daily basis. Right, but if I'm a viewer and I'm watching this, how do you explain to me what channeling is and what a medium does without scaring me, basically?
Oh, okay. And I do get that a lot. I have a lot of people that come to me for the first time, and I do have to explain that. I know for a fact that people don't disappear when they die. It's just, I mean, if you believe in science, we're just changing form, going to a different dimension. And some of the living can tune into that frequency, that vibration, and we can hear them and see them. And the only, they try to communicate with us to help us while we're here. Because, being on Earth kind of sucks sometimes. So it's not the easiest. So if they can help us out, that's their goal. There's nothing scary about it. I believe in God. I raised Mormon actually, and some people may disagree with that, but obviously we didn't. I left the church a while ago. Just had some bad habits that didn't agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, nothing scary about it. Nothing dark about it. I don't try to engage anything or anyone that's from the dark side. They kind of know to stay away from me because I'm not even going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I have encountered darker spirits or angry spirits.
Mm-hmm.
But I have some pretty good protection around me. My guides are everyone has angels and guides, and mine are like, they're on top of it, so.
No, I feel like my angels have been with me since day one. It's like,
pretty much.
You know, you can, like, I mean, if you understand how privileged we are to be breathing and living today, and then some of the things that you've encountered in your life, and that you're not supposed to be here now, then like, one, there is a God. Two,
definitely,
there's energy. This is energy that we're feeling, or we're trying to understand. So,
you asked me about channeling too. You want me?
Yeah, please.
Explain? Okay.
Yeah.
Channeling. So like when I'm doing a reading, all the spirits are different. Just like the living people, we're all different. They have different characteristics and whatnot. So like when I'm channeling, some of the spirits are more intense. And they will actually kind of get into my body for a few seconds and speak through me. But I am very good at controlling it, and I can, I let them do it for a little bit, and then they have to jump out. So that does scare some people.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing readings where my eye color will change, my face kind of changes, like I'm kind of turning into the person a little bit.
Wow.
I didn't know that was happening, but the person across from me noticed it, and I was like, wow, it's a thing, it's real. Mm-hmm. So I don't like doing it too much because it is extremely draining.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. So I have to kind of limit.
Yeah.
I had one yesterday. She was trying so hard, and I think she got to me a little bit, but I've gone home at night, and sometimes my husband's like, you're not yourself. Who are you? Who'd you bring home? and then I know, okay, I got to clear this off. So I'll go and do some clearing, and it's kind of crazy. It does take a huge physical and mental toll on me. So
what's the one that you remember the most, or that happened? Like that was, you can say, I'm never gonna forget that one.
Well, oh gosh, that's a hard one. I've had so many.
Wow.
What is the most rewarding experience that you've had in what you do?
I've had a lot of rewarding experiences. It's whenever I can really make that connection between the living and deceased, it's so amazing. And once things get flowing and you connect, you can, it's just the information just starts flowing, and it's just awesome. Mm-hmm. I can't think of one comes to mind. I was doing a reading. It was someone's deceased father came through, and he told his daughter that she has a sister, and he told me his name, and he told me where the sister was located.
Oh, wow.
And I think she was like in her 50s, and she's like, no, this is a living person. She said, no, I don't have a sister. I don't know what he's talking about. I said, no, he's insistent that you have a sister, and this is where you can find her. And so she left my office, and I don't know if she thought I was full of it, or her dad was full of it, but I saw her again, and she said, you're not going to believe this. She found her sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
She's like, I have a sister. I'm 50 years old. I got a sister.
I remember when we did our readings, me, it was like, whoa, nobody can know that. I'm not gonna say anything, but
yeah.
but it was like pretty amazing. And you did my daughter too.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny how you met my daughter. I think you met her at a gas station or something. Or I can't remember what she was saying.
I think so.
Yeah. You walked up to her and you give her like I think you had to give her a message. And my daughter.
It's so crazy,
right?
My
daughter's like, oh, I met this lady. I'm like, oh, I know her.
No, really? Yeah. You guys already knew each other, and she met your daughter randomly?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't know it was his daughter. So,
wow, that's crazy.
But but she's amazing though. My first readings was through her.
Okay.
She was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. So you've been doing this for roughly 11 years?
I think about that. Yeah.
And what made you decide to open an office or just?
I started to get really busy, and the stuff at home was getting a little out of control, because what would happen, I made the mistake of telling my clients to invite your people the night before our reading. Huge mistake.
So they're hanging out.
Yeah, so they wouldn't go to their house the night before. They would come to my house.
Wow.
Oh.
And it was just a hot mess. There was stuff being moved and broken and voices. And my husband said, no more. You and your people get out.
Wow.
About enough. So, yeah.
Wow.
So that was the catalyst.
Yeah, so that's just and you knew you had to get your own.
I had to get in
practice somewhere.
I started kind of sharing for a little bit, and then I just felt like I needed my own space. So, yeah. Yeah. And now I do lots of different things.
So one, I mean, before you leave, we want to have you share like your business location, the name, and all that kind of stuff before you leave.
Yeah, definitely.
What I want to ask you right now is, if I'm a new person to this and I don't know anything about it, and I come and walk through your front door, what is the process that you would go through with me as a new person trying to understand what it is that you do and how I can benefit from that?
So when someone comes to their session, I have a short form that I just have them sign. It's a consent form, and so we do that, and then I have a private area couch where I do. I have my desk and couch and chair, and so my main concern when someone new comes in is that I want them to feel comfortable. I don't want them to be afraid. And sometimes I do have a lot of times I have people that come in, they're nervous, they're afraid I'm going to tell them something scary or bad, and it's nothing like that. Okay. I try to keep everything very positive and light, and my goal is just to connect people, and hopefully their loved ones on the other side can give some messages to help them while they're here. You know, we all like to hear from grandma, grandpa, whoever it is. So, I go over the process. So I'll have a person sit down, go over the process, how I connect. I have a little bit of a warming up period where I'm tuning in to anyone that wants to come through. And then I start gathering information. And I tell people too, like, sometimes the information that the spirit is giving me, the living person may have not known that. They may not have known that about their dad, that, he collected coins, and then they find out later. And I used to not, in the beginning doing this, it's a little scary for me because the living are not always nice. And they just want you to be a machine and pump out information, and if you if you don't get something right, this was in the beginning, I would feel it was very unnerving. So now I've learned over time, whatever's coming through, I have to give it, because I've had spirits show up that were murdered, that needed help, and they were connected to someone else, and kept coming through every reading. So if I don't give that information, we would have never found them, or never solved the mystery. So I always give it.
Oh, good. I had an experience. One time I was working for this small independent record label, and the owner of the label wanted to go to Vegas to promote his new artist. There was some events going on there, so we go there, and there's this big, huge club, and it's got upstairs and downstairs. And the upstairs is kind of like a balcony all the way around the whole building. So you can literally walk around and look down onto the dance floor. And over in the corner of this dance floor in this club was this lady sitting with some tarot cards on a table.
Wow. Okay.
And a light.
Yeah.
And so we're standing upstairs looking down across this building. It's got to be like 10,000 square foot building probably. And the owner of the label said, "Hey, there's a lady down there that's doing readings." And I said, "Oh yeah, like I see that."
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm gonna go down there and see what she says." And I go, "Well, go." Yeah. And he said, "Well, I'm scared." And he said, "Why don't you go first, and then tell me whether she's accurate."
Let me know how it goes.
Like
right?
if she's accurate or not.
Yeah.
And I said, "Dude, I had never done this before in my life, so." I told him, I said, I really don't believe in that. I believe that God is the one that kind of tells me where to go or what to do. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Come on." He goes, "Just go." He goes, "I'll pay for it. Just, I want to know whether she's accurate or not." I said, "All right." So I go down there, and she's like doing something with the cards. There's nobody there but just her. Mm-hmm. And I'm standing next to her, and she turned around and she looked me right in the eye and she said, "You know, I believe in God too." And I was like, "Oh wow,
you're
this is going to be crazy," right? But
yeah.
she proceeded to tell me everything that was going on in my life and where my life was headed. And as soon as she said, "I believe in God too," then I said to myself, I have to listen to what this woman is going to tell me, because obviously she felt that, and I was all the way across the club when I said that, so she kind of heard me, right?
So she heard you.
Yeah, she did. So that was my first encounter with somebody who actually did that. Yeah. You know, and awesome. It was not scary. I mean, everything that she told me is exactly what's happening in my life now. You know, so that was a good experience.
It's a good point that you brought up, because some people come, like, they even come to my office and they already kind of have these preconceived notions, like, this is fake, she's gonna try to pull one over on me, whatever. They don't believe, and when someone comes in like that, it just makes my job that much harder.
I bet.
Because then I have to kind of cut through all their stuff, their crazy belief systems, and then I can finally try to connect them to their loved ones. I have had people ask me, "Do you ever turn anyone away?" Or not usually, but there's been a few times where I'm like, I don't want to read for this person, because if someone comes in with really negative energy, or if someone says, "Let's see how good you are," if someone were to say that to me, that instantly blocks me. So.
Yeah. Wow. No, I could see where that would.
It's hard to get through that.
Yep, I could see that.
But it sounds like she had been doing it for a while and she didn't care about that. Yeah. And that's kind of where I am. I don't care anymore.
I just found it kind of fascinating that was the only thing that I mentioned to him.
Yeah.
And that was the very first thing that she told me when I met her.
That's amazing.
And like I said, I was like far away from her, and she couldn't have, there's no way she heard what I was telling him, because there was music going on, people walking around, and just him and I.
Energy.
Right. And so for that to be the first thing out of her mouth, like, not only did it floor me, you know what I mean, I just thought to myself, wow, like, this lady really knows, like, what's going on, so I need to listen to her. And like I said, she told me that I was going to meet my wife, which I did, and she told me where I was going to be living, and she told me what color my house was going to be. Wow. And without even realizing it, we moved into this house, and when we moved in, the color that she told me was the whole inside of the house. And I was like, wow. And she said, you're gonna live up on a hill. And I said, oh, all right, you know, whatever. And the house we found is kind of up on a hill. So,
is it?
You know, just things that she said to me that I kept with me, that had just came to life. I mean, they were just happening, you know. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So that really opened up my mind to, like, receive other information in other ways other than just praying to God. You know what I mean? It's not that God is any less of a priority in my life, or that I believe in Him any less. It's just that now I know that I need to be open-minded to other forms of communication.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, man, this is really interesting. I had no idea you were Redlands. I frequent Redlands.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah, my kids live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son and his family live there, and
oh, that's awesome.
I raised my kids in Ukaipa. So we lived up in Oak Glen for quite a few years.
That's where my real estate office is, in Ukaipa.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, you do real estate too?
Yeah.
I owned a mortgage corporation.
Coldwell Banker. So.
Oh, you work for Coldwell?
Yeah.
Is it on the boulevard?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we.
That's fun because then so this kind of ties in with the because some people are like, that's kind of weird. I don't see how the two are connected, but a lot of my clients, when someone passes away, they need to sell the house,
right?
And so it's just another way I can help, and it's really cool too because when I go in the house, I can talk to the last resident.
Talk to the person that was there before, right?
It's happened a lot.
Has it really?
Yes, like showings, and I have to kind of like really guard myself when I go in because I pick up so much. So.
Have you had any experiences doing this that were like humorous, like things that were funny that happened to you that you could share with us?
Yes, I have.
We're picking up a siren going by.
Oh yeah, the fire truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some ladies I was doing a reading for, and I was connecting with the dad, the husband, and one of the ladies, I was trying so hard to see what he looked like, and I saw him, but I didn't see the most important part of him, apparently. So the wife said, "Well, did he show you his Johnson?" And I said, "No, I wasn't looking either." And I guess she goes, "Well, he had, penis cancer." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Good not. We were crying laughing, so I was like, "Whoa." There's
That must have
always
been like
a surprise.
The most
right?
odd question for somebody to ask you about a spirit.
We didn't
right?
get there yet. But thanks for sharing. Yeah,
wow.
That's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I imagine. I mean, I can't even imagine like just walking into a place where there's people and you having to try to fend off these feelings or these.
Well, it's not an all day thing for me because honestly I would probably get sick. So I have to really like block it out. But if I walk in a room and let's say I'm doing a group reading, then I've already kind of said in my mind it's time to work. Let's go, and so I'm already open when I walk in. But yeah, I can't have it on all day.
Well, I find it fascinating that you literally can control it like that, though. Did it take a while for you to learn how to do that, or is it something?
Yes, it did. It took a long time, and I mean, even now, like I still feel them. It's just I have to tell them, I'm not working right now, unless it's an emergency.
Are you feeling right now a little boy, or?
Yeah, it's funny because we were walking down the hall, and there's like certain areas in houses or buildings like this that I've never been here before either, so I was picking up a little boy, and then there was an older man like down by the rooms at the end. So Gary, he's sometimes when I walk in, they're like, "Are you gonna get rid of me? Why are you here? Why can you see me? Or how can you see me?" And so they're just as freaked out as I am, probably. I'm not really freaked out, but they're just surprised that I can see them usually. So.
If I'm correct, you say that I think you do cleanings too, right? Clean property.
Yes, I do a lot of that. Oh. And I've encountered some crazy stuff.
Really? So what does that entail? That's pretty interesting.
Well, I can think of one, like,
That was a good one.
I'll give you a good one. but not every house I walk into has like demons in the corner and that sort of thing. That's not always reality. So there's only been a handful of homes where I don't tell people like you have to move out, this is a bad house, but I also tell them if I don't think it can be fixed or cleared up. And there was one house that I can think of that comes to mind. And the people that were living there didn't tell me anything, so I don't like to know. I'd like to kind of go in with a clear head, and whatever I get, that's great. You know, I'll give that. But if I have stuff, like if they feed me stuff beforehand, that's not always the best. It just kind of clouds what I'm getting. But I walked in and I knew immediately, like and I get smells too. Like I get smells, I can see. Sometimes they'll touch me. But I got this bad smell. And I pointed at the floor and I said, there was a dead body over there. Like, I kind of stood where it had been. And then, like, sometimes the energy's so intense, I'll start to get nauseous. And so I started getting nauseous. So I told them about the dead body, and then we did and they didn't say anything. So then we kept walking around, and I said, I can see portals. Like, usually when someone plays with Ouija boards, which everyone has their own views on this, but I am not a fan. So, yeah, I always know. Every house I go into, I'm like, there's been someone played with a Ouija board in here. Because what it does is, like, I look at the floor and I can literally see, like, a hole.
Oh, wow.
It's like a black swirling hole. And most of the time I can't close it up.
Oh, wow. So that's negative energy then.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this house had 2 portals, like 2 or 3 dark spirits in there that had been brought through these portals. Yeah. And then I found out that the dad had died in the house, and the spot that I was standing, he had been there for 2 weeks, hence the smell.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I was standing, they said that's exactly where we found him.
Wow.
So I said, I know you live this house, but I don't know that I would stay here.
Yeah.
Because crazy stuff was happening, so.
Wow. And why
it's scary.
Why do you think crazy stuff is happening? Because something happened to him, or?
No, it wasn't the dad causing this negative stuff. It was more the portals and the people that, a lot of homes that have been rentals, like numerous times, many, many years. Yeah. Sometimes people that are in the rental house, they don't treat it like their own. Yeah. And they might think it's fun to play with Ouija boards in the rental house or do other dark stuff in the rental house. And so the majority of homes, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them that I've been in that have had a lot of stuff going on, they are rentals, or they were at one point. So this house had been a rental, and again, I'm not saying that all rentals are bad, but it's just these people had years of inviting this stuff in, and it wasn't gonna leave. Sometimes they're like,
house like that.
You did?
By accident, I didn't know that I was actually there as a family member, and I had gone there. This is my first time going there, and we were gonna spend like a couple of weeks with them. And so the first night I get there, I felt like something just didn't feel right in the house, and I thought, wow, this just feels uncomfortable. Maybe it's because I'm new here and I just haven't settled in yet. And then the following evening, when I went to bed in the bedroom upstairs, I saw a light outside the window, and I thought it was a car coming in. Then they told me, no, there's no road back there. And I said, well, then maybe it's the train tracks. And they said, no, the train tracks go the other way. And I said, oh, okay. So then I was with my wife, actually, and so when I told her, I go, then what would that be? And right when I said that, this orb came into the room, and it was floating around in the room, and then it just left. And I told her, I said, what was that? Like, I got scared, and I started like backing up against the wall, so I can have my back against the wall.
It was saying
yeah. Wow. And I said, what is that? And she said, it's an orb. Like, it's not here to hurt you. Like.
Yeah.
And I said, but what is it? Like, why is it here? And she just just go to sleep. And I'm like, I can't, right?
I do sleep after that.
Yeah,
right?
so then a couple days later, well, in that same night, I decided, okay, I'm gonna, because I was laying on my stomach when I saw it. So I said, no, I'm gonna lay on my back. So I laid on my back, and I felt like this warm spot at the end of the bed. And so I told my wife, I said, can you just put your hand down here? And she's kind of getting irritated at me, like, what the heck's wrong with you? And I just told her, I go, look, I'm gonna lift my foot up, just put your hand there and tell me what you feel. And then I could feel her putting her hand on the bed. And then she just laid down next to me. She goes, somebody's sitting on the edge of the bed. She goes, I can feel it. And I was like, why? Like, why are they here, you know? Well, so we got ready to leave after about 10 days or so. And me, like a dummy, I go back into that bedroom to grab our bags. And to tell you the truth, after the second night, I slept on the sofa downstairs. I didn't sleep in that room. Like, my wife slept in there, but I didn't. So I go back in the room to get our stuff, our bags. I take her bags downstairs. I grabbed mine too. I had like 2 duffel bags. I grabbed those and I stood up and I said, I don't know who you are, but I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. And the freaking closet door slammed shut. And I threw the bags over the rail and I jumped off the steps. And went right out the front door and put my stuff in the car. And my wife came out. She said, what are you doing running through the house and jumping? I can't believe that. That's rude. And I told her I'm not going in. And she said, you need to come in and say bye. And I said, I'm not. Tell them to come out. And she said, no, you got to come in. I said, I'm not. Like, they can come outside. So they came outside and they said bye. We got in the car and she said, what in the world is wrong with you? Like, what's going on with you? And when I explained to her what happened, she goes, oh, well, she goes, you know, there are spirits, and spirits, you know, can be angry if you challenge them or whatever. And I was like, what are you talking about? So the following year, we went back, and they told me, hey, you can have the middle bedroom again. I said, no, I'm sleeping on the sofa. Right? And then the person that owned the house said, you don't want to sleep in the room? And I said, no. And my wife said, tell them why. And I said, I really don't want to. It's kind of embarrassing. Like, it might just be me. And when I told them, they said, oh my gosh. The lady said, oh my gosh. There's a portal in the closet that goes to the cemetery behind our house. She said, I've had to have mediums come over and shut the portal down.
Wow. And the closet was
And the closet was there, yeah. And the closet is what slammed the door. So at that point I realized, like, this stuff is real. Like, it really is real.
It is,
you know?
Yeah.
So it was a crazy experience. So you're helping me answer some of the things.
No, there definitely, I've seen many portals, unfortunately, but I wish people would not play with that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but they do, and they I mean, I guess it's entertaining until it's not, and then but it's.
So I've seen, like, you know, sometimes, like, I'm at home and out of the corner of my eye I see something, like somebody walking by, or that used to happen a lot at this apartment that we lived in North Hollywood. And then one day I was getting ready to go to work, and my wife was traveling, so she was gone, and I was home by myself, and I took a bowl out of the cupboard to get some cereal, and when I turned around and grabbed the milk out of the refrigerator and I turned back around like this, the bowl literally just moved. It went from here to here, and I was like, I guess I don't want no cereal. I just put it back and I left.
You know? They were telling you not to have cereal.
Like, I'm not no cereal for you. No cereal for me that day. So, and then when I got home that night, I got home around 9 o'clock in the evening. I went straight to the bedroom, closed the door, locked it, and went to bed. You know, so I didn't want to be in the house.
That freaks me out too, for sure.
Yeah, because those kind of things are just like.
It's just unnerving, like.
It is. It's like, why did you do that? Like, I didn't.
Just trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I have a question. Are portals all the same, or do they lead different places, or?
I don't really know where they lead. I just kind of see them like as a black hole.
Okay. I gotta show you something too. I've seen some that are light. We have it on the. What do you call that? The door or the ringer? The ring.
Oh, okay.
I got a video. I'm gonna show you after.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It just showed up. And there was just a light right there. So and it's on the ringer.
I usually see them like in the ground.
The ground. Okay.
Yeah, or the floor.
So those are not good, right?
No.
No, not the ground. Okay. Because this one was just like looking over here and it just popped up. Or like, what was
Oh,
that?
I don't know. See, I don't think that would be like what I view as a portal necessarily. It might be a spirit, and that's how they appear to you.
Spirit.
Yeah.
It was huge.
I had one. I actually have it on my phone, the recording.
Oh, wow.
It just happened like 2 weeks ago. I was at home, and our Ring doorbell went off like somebody was in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting on the sofa with my grandson and my wife and stuff, and we're all watching TV, and I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, there's nobody there. And then all of a sudden I saw these two little dots like appear, and then they started moving, but there's like a little trail, like when they move, you can see the trail behind them, like.
Oh, like they have the sort of tail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a good friend. She has written a couple books about orbs, and she's great at getting pictures, and you can actually see faces in the orbs, and some of them have what you're saying, the little kind of tail. So it's amazing what you can see in these orbs.
Where's your friend located? Is she local?
She is in Claremont. Her name, I'm going to do a shameless plug, Nancy. Her name's Nancy Myers, and I think you can find her books pretty much everywhere.
I'm going to try to find that book.
Yeah. She's
lives by me. I live in Alta Loma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think she's in Claremont.
Wow. Yeah, I would like to talk to her, like to find out.
Yeah.
Like, what is this and how does it happen? And
she's also a medium too.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's great.
Wow.
So, yeah,
awesome.
there's all. I mean, I do want to share one more story, and it was like, this is probably the craziest thing that's ever happened that I can tap into right now. But I had a couple ladies come to me for a reading, and this was not my first office, and I still kind of new at this, and so they came in, and I started doing my reading, and I said, your dad's standing behind me, and she just kind of looked at me. She didn't, the living person, the daughter, she looked at me, she didn't say anything. So I figured, okay, I'm going to keep talking to him. Because she said, tell me more. So I said, fine. So I talked to him for a while, and I could see what he looked like, and so the conversation was getting very kind of heated, and I didn't understand, right? I didn't know what was going on. So she tells me at the end of the reading, he's not dead, he's in a coma in the hospital.
Wow.
And I said, I don't know how he's standing behind me then, but he is. I knew I could feel him. And so she was like, okay. I said, well, I hope he gets better, and they left. And so then I ran into them, I think it was like a month later at a fair. And she said, I got to tell you something. I have to tell you something. And I was kind of like half listening because I was doing readings, and I was really busy. And she said, he came out of it. He came out of the coma. And then I just stopped. And she said, do you know the first thing he said was, who was the girl I was talking to? Who was that girl? And he described in detail what I looked like. Wow. And they had never said a word to him. And he told them, he confirmed I was standing behind her, speaking through her.
Wow.
And he said, I chose to stay. And I told them during the reading, it's his choice whether he wants to stay or not. So I don't know how his soul got from the hospital to my office, and he stood behind me. I don't know how he knew they were there. I don't know, but I was just relaying the information. So this is again why I always give it, because if I hadn't told them, I mean, it's just proof that even people in comas can come through.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
And recently I had one that, so the girl had never been to see a medium before she came in and with her friend, and so I was doing my thing, and I kind of go through my explanation that takes a few minutes because I just want to make sure we're clear on how this works, so that when I start giving information, I need you to like confirm it. So it was like 7 o'clock on the dot. I said, okay, we're gonna start. And so I said, I felt someone the minute I started behind me. And so I described this person, and I said, I think they were in the hospital for a while. They've been sick. And, you know, like all this stuff I was saying, everything, he was super clear. And the girl looked at me and she said, oh, you're describing my cousin. That sounds exactly like him, but he's in the hospital and he's not dead. And I knew he was dead.
Oh.
I found out later, at the moment he died, that's when he was standing behind me.
Oh, wow.
He died at 7.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
crazy.
Powerful.
I'm like, how did he know?
Yeah.
Because the mom was there at the hospital, and he needed so badly to tell his mom, like, it's okay to let me go. Wow. And so, yeah, it was crazy.
My mother-in-law passed some years ago, but when they took her to the hospital and they decided they were going to take her off of life support, and so they made that decision and they did it.
Yeah.
And then the doctor said, like, you know, something's going on, like she's supposed to not be here, but she's continuing to live. And so they ended up taking her home because they said maybe she wants to go from home, maybe she wants to be home. We brought her home and she continued to live like another week. And then the doctor told my wife, there's got to be somebody that she needs to see before she leaves, or somebody, like, there's something that's keeping her here.
Yeah.
Right?
So
they thought about it and thought about it, and her younger brother was the only one that was left in her family. And they brought the younger brother, who was in a wheelchair, and we brought him, and we let him go into the room and speak with the mom, and that day she left. And
she was waiting
for that. She was waiting for him, and it was crazy because he sat in there and he started speaking to her in Italian, and they were having this conversation, and then next thing you know, she was just like, she was at peace, and she was okay to go. You know what I mean? So I know, you know, this stuff is important. Especially to people who have loved ones, and you're confused. You don't know, why.
You want to know where they went.
Yeah, you want to know where they went. You want to know why they left. You want to know. There's so many unanswered
Are they okay?
questions.
Where are you? Yeah.
I'm thankful for people like you, because a lot of times we think to ourselves, like, if I could have just said that one last thing, or if I could have just hugged them one last time, whatever, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You allow that to happen for people like us, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you know what? We'd like to have you back again.
Oh yeah.
Really
definitely.
Yeah.
But I'd love for you to share, like, your place of business and your name again, and how people can contact you.
Instagram, Facebook.
I'm on. I'm on all of it. So I have my business name is Spirit Jewel Wisdom. It's JEWEL, like jewelry. So that's Spirit Jewelry, and then I do coaching too. So, so it's spiritjewelwisdom.com. That's my website. I have all kinds of good information on there. You can schedule a session through the website. My phone number's on there. You can send me an email. Instagram, Facebook. I believe it's Brandie K Medium. And my first name is with an IE, and second name is KAE.
So your first name is
Brandie.
Brandie with an IE.
With an IE.
Okay.
Yes.
And then K?
KAE.
KAE. Okay.
Yes. My office it's downtown Redlands, in the historic area down there.
Maybe we can have you do some group readings here.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I know a lot of people would be interested now.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's group readings are very interesting. You know, we don't know who's gonna show up, so we just kind of go with it. It's good. Yeah. So my office is down there. I also have my real estate business too, and that's brandiesellshouses.com. So if they want to look that up,
So
but I'm all over social media. I'm always on there and try to post stuff as much as I can.
Right. We'll have to log on and follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you so much, Brandie.
For sharing you know,
stories.
some knowledge, some wisdom, and some stories with us. I appreciate that, and hopefully we can help other people.
Definitely, yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we look forward to having you back.